disappeared. I got a call in the middle of it. I'm here at the Merrimack County Jail. I just spent the night for contempt of court for wearing my body cam and refusing to fill out an advanced notice form at the Franklin District Court. And so I was sentenced to 1 day yesterday until basically midnight, right, the 28th. And they were going to let me out at midnight. Everything was good. I was on the phone. I talked to my friend. She's going to come pick me up. And next thing you know, they're like, hold on. You're not going to be able to leave. I hate to have to tell you this, but we can't let you leave. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you're on a suicide watch. I'm like, I'm on a suicide watch? What are you talking about? They're like, yeah, you're on a suicide watch. You have a medical hold. We can't release you until you're cleared by medical. Okay, so yesterday, they do the whole intake thing and all that. And when the nurse came up to me, she's like, oh, let's do the intake. What's up, Rob? What's up, Brandon? Constitutional freedom fighter. What's up, guys? Where was I? So I'm about to do the intake, and why would I do the intake? I'm leaving. So I told her I'm all set. I don't need to do anything. And she said, well, if you refuse, we're going to put you on a suicide watch and da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, well, what the fuck? And she says, or you can fill out this waiver of liability and you won't be put on suicide watch. And so I said, okay, cool. That works. And so she gets the form. She brings it to me. I sign the form. Everything's good. That was like noon. Okay, so it's like noon. And then they put me in a cell with like 4 other guys. And I'm sitting there. Then midnight comes. And I'm on the phone and they're about to release me. And they go, oh yeah, we can't release you. There's a hold. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And so the jail, because it was in the system, but they had never put me on suicide watch. So now all of a sudden they decide to put me on suicide watch. And the jail staff were like, yeah, this is not right, but there's nothing we could do. Our hands are tied, blase, blase, blah. So I have to stay there all night. And then the mental health lady comes this morning and she's like, oh, hey, I'm here to talk to you. I said, fuck you. I have a right to refuse medical treatment. I signed a fucking waiver. You get me out of here right now. I'm going to be suing your ass. I'm going to be suing this Prime Medical 100%. And the jail actually wants me to. Jail staff were like, you need to follow up on that. And you need to get these Prime Medical people, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, absolutely. I'm probably going to try to outsource this to an attorney because it should be an easy one. I just don't have time for it, but I will. I'll do it myself if I have to. But yeah, I am waiting for the bus to take it to Concord right now. And that's it. That's basically what's going on. I have other things that I wanted to update you guys on. I might as well right now. So I did get the order from the judge on my phone, the filming in the federal court lobby and filming during my trial situation. She said that they can delete the video, but they have to keep a copy, and in case I need it for any sort of litigation. So I will be filing a motion for reconsideration on that, and I'll be appealing that. But I am getting my phone back one way or the other, and I still need to find out what else they looked at on my phone. Did they have a mirror copy of everything on it? All that type of stuff. And so I got that going on. I'm waiting for the appeal on that case. So that case, the phone case, is being appealed to the First Circuit. That's docketed and everything. I'm just waiting for the briefing schedule from them. And the 1983 for the New Hampshire, all the different arrests that I've had, and the one that I have with Kathleen, that one is still progressing. I have that new evidence, the 602 pages of documents that show them tracking and tracing and planning enforcement actions and all that stuff. So that case is still progressing. And yeah, yesterday I had trial for a registration, unregistered vehicle. I was ready to go. And the judge was mad because I wouldn't sign the form. And I haven't put out these videos, but I have a bunch of videos from this court. I've been representing a friend of mine as a non-attorney, Rule 20 non-attorney representative on a case. You guys are going to see that. Tons of issues with court security and the judge, but in those trial, whatever hearings, there's been 5 of them so far. I've been filling out the notice form because I know how they're acting, and I know that they're trying to fuck with me and make it so that I can't represent my friend, which I've been doing. And, so I was filling out these notice forms, but yesterday I was there for myself and I'm not going to fill out the form. And I told them that. Why aren't you going to? I said, do what you got to do. Trespass me like you threatened me with, or hold me in contempt or whatever. And ultimately the judge had a recess, and then he came back and he started calling it a notice form for the first time. So he must have went and looked. I also told them, you don't have proper notice on your signs. The signs need to say what the rule is and what the law is for these no recording ban. And you have to have those rules posted for the public to review. And they don't. They don't have them. And the signs don't say anything on them to reference the authority for them to ban filming. And it's my own trial. I have a right to record my own trial. Fuck you. So we're going to go back and we're going to play this game over and over and over and over again. Trust me. We're going to keep getting held in contempt and brought here, and that trial will never happen. That trial will never happen. Okay? So this judge also, I'm going to sue the shit out of him because during the contempt hearing, it's contempt for refusing to sign a notice form because I'm wearing a body cam and they don't know if I'm recording. I told them, I'm not answering questions. You don't know if I'm recording or not. And they didn't confiscate it. They didn't confiscate my device. I got all the video. So what's the point of holding me in contempt for something that I'm allowed to do? It's a First Amendment protected activity. Your little rules don't trump the fucking Constitution, motherfucker. Fuck around and find out. That's what it's all about. So, yeah. That's been my day. We go through the comments here. Pinky in the brain. What's up? FAFO, Brandon. Auditing Canada. Hey. Yeah, this whole thing is unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. That's it, basically, for now. That's the war report. I will say that jail staff were really cool. And it was really like they were going to let me out at midnight, which they never do for people. They make them stay till like the next day or whatever, which is kind of messed up, but they don't let people out when it's dark and unless they have a ride. So they can, and they will if you push them like I was doing. And, they were going to let me out. And then the next thing you know, I'm supposed to have been on a suicide watch, even though I wasn't, for 12 hours. And then they put me on a suicide watch because I signed a waiver of any liability to the jail and the jail staff. It's like unfreaking believable. Who's this guy? Who's this? Your daughter is the throat coat. Yeah, let's fucking remove. How do I ban this fucking dude? Remove. Remove. Yeah, no, you're done, bro. I don't play games. Remove. Yep. How do I, how the fuck do I ban? Kids, what am I do I have any moderators? Click hide user. Oh, okay. Hide user. There we go. It was down. Peace. See you later, sucker. All right, he's gone. He's gone, whoever that was. Peace. So, my stream is about being held in jail for wearing a body cam during my trial and refusing to sign an advance notice form. That's what this is about. So, I also talked about some of the other things. If you want to go back and listen to it, it's not too long. It's just a brief update on all the different cases that I have going on and everything like that. All right, I'll see about getting some mods. I need to, you know, having one bad mod can fuck everything up. Oh, go and join the Telegram group. I got the Telegram group. Where I should have put it on here. I'll do a live stream tonight about the Telegram group, so you guys can all join the Telegram group. So pay attention for that live that I'll drop later tonight, and I'll put the link in there. You guys can get in there. It'll be a direct line of communication, and we can all kind of pool our resources and our knowledge to help everybody else. All right. So get ready for that. We need to flood that group, fill it up. Judge makes the rules in courtrooms. They say no cameras, there are no cameras. And that's not how it works. That is not how it works. You obviously haven't seen my channel. So here's the deal. That rule comes out of the New Hampshire Supreme Court. How about they don't even enforce it there? How about that rule about no cameras has no penalty and no force of law? It's unenforceable other than through contempt. And that means it has to be in a courtroom, not outside in the common areas. So they're applying this ban to the common areas, which they cannot do. It's very simple. All the power of the government is derived from the people. If they have the right to record and create their own records, we have the right to record and create our own records, especially if it's your own fucking trial. Okay? So, I don't know what this judge thinks. Like I said, we could keep playing this game over and over. Put me in contempt, and continue the case, continue the case, continue the case. Let's go. Let's go. So, their rules are for process. They can't legislate from the bench, and they can't create rules that abrogate our constitutional rights. End of story. And you have to nullify by refusing to comply and creating the standing in court. That's what I do here. And that's what everybody else needs to do. Speak with your feet, do not comply, and make them work. Make them work. Oh, man. Right. Judges interpret. They don't make rules. They're not supposed to legislate from the bench. But they've been getting away with it until I showed up. And they took the signs down from the Supreme Court. They took the signs down from the Supreme Court where this rule comes out of. So if it's unnecessary to enforce there, they don't need to enforce it anywhere else in any of the lower courts. And they don't. Concord District, Brentwood, Manchester, none of them give me a problem about recording. None of them. It's just this Franklin District Court. I don't know what they think. Maybe because they don't get a lot of traffic. But this judge is going to get sued. Oh, because here, this is what happened. During the contempt hearing, he's like, oh, so you refused to sign the form, and earlier you were disorderly, and you just told me to fuck. You just said fuck you to me, because I did. I said fuck you to the judge, because you know he's like you're loud. You're being too loud, and I just have a loud voice. And I said I'm disabled. When I get excited, I can't control the volume of my voice, and I just have a loud voice anyway. So, would you charge someone with contempt? Never mind the fact that I wasn't charged with contempt for swearing at him. I was charged with contempt for not signing the form. But then he says, oh, you said fuck you and you were disorderly earlier, but you didn't hold me in contempt for being disorderly, dude. Judge Tenney, Tenn, I think it's EY. Judge Tenney. The one good thing I can say about this judge is he actually writes written orders for everything. Most of the judges for little like petty issues, they don't write like findings of fact and rulings of law. This guy actually writes a lot. I've never seen a judge write so much in his orders. It is good. It's great because it gives you, you know, something to grab onto and to fight. So, yeah. This is what a granite man looks like. Absolutely. Born and raised in the 603. Fuck around and find out. Right to Revolution, Part 1, Article 10. That's the other thing. Part 1, Article 10 in the state constitution. Right to revolution. This is the revolution right here. Filming in court. That's the current revolution. So, I don't know where the hell this bus is. I'm going to end this stream pretty soon when the bus comes. Should be here any minute. So, yeah, anyway, it's been a wild 24 hours with this stupid little situation here. I want to thank everybody for joining. If you got any questions, shoot them off in the chat. At this point, I'm just kind of rambling. And go Trump. Yes, Article 10. Time to activate Article 10. 100%. It's there. It's there for you to use when you need it. So, I don't know about other states, if you guys have anything like that. I don't think most of you do not, you know, most of you do not have the right to revolution, but you should check your state constitution. The better ones are in the Northeast area. You know, New Hampshire, by far, hands down, has the most protective constitution in the country. And we are the freest, most protected state in the world. In the world. We are the model for freedom here in New Hampshire. Uh, 242, yes. There is a 242 angle here. Conspiracy to violate rights. Great point, Jason Moss. The judge absolutely conspired. When he called the recess, he went back and talked to his little court security guys and everything. And when he came back from the recess, he's got his little security dude standing there. And here's the other thing. They keep these court security. I'll be going back and forth with the judge. And these court security step up out of nowhere and start running their mouths. And I told this dude, stand there and shut the fuck up. I said, stand there and be quiet. And wait till the judge tells you to do something. Because the judge had just said, Bob, Bill, whatever, stop. Don't say anything. Don't. And I said, yeah, stand there and be quiet until he tells you to do something. You know, like, I don't know what the fuck these guys down there at that courthouse think is going on here, but this is not going to turn out the way they think. Yeah, they're still full of tyrants. I just spent the night in jail, man. I spent the night in jail for wearing a body cam at my court. They held me in contempt. And I did talk about some updates on other cases that I have going on. So if you want to go back and listen to it, probably. You are a sovereign citizen. I'm not actually a sovereign citizen. This is the thing. Go back and watch my videos. I actually win cases left and right. I have 90% win rate. 90% win rate between pro se trials and pro se 1983s. Ha 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 ha. So that's that. I ain't no sovereign citizen. I use statutes. I use statutes. I use the law. I use the Constitution. I don't play these fucking semantic games like these sovereign citizens do. So yeah, fuck you and fuck all sovereign citizens too. You guys want to get butthurt. But I ain't no sovereign citizen. The only sovereign citizens are cops and judges. Fucking bootlicker. It's going to turn out with you in jail again. No shit. You think I care? You think I care if I go to jail again, dude? I spent 5 years in solitary confinement. Okay? Go fuck yourself. 2.5 years for refusing to shave my beard, and then I sued in federal court, and I won my release. Pro se. Yeah. Because I'm a fucking sovereign citizen, right? Retard. I ain't no sovereign citizen. Yeah. Prosecutors, judges, they're the sovereign citizens. Cops, they're the sovereign citizens. So, man, where's this bus at? Yeah, very intense. This is pretty crazy stuff that we got going on here. I was not expecting that. I borrowed my buddy's car to go to court, and I didn't think I was going to be held in contempt. And they did. It was the one of the guards let me use my phone to call him and let him know that, hey, you got to go pick up your car. No, I'm not related to Liver King, but I do the root cause protocol, which has liver in it, even though I will admit I don't get enough liver in my diet. It's just, it's so tough to get it edible. I like to do liver and eggs. Liver and eggs, I feel like in some cheese, some cheddar cheese. That makes it palatable for me. Why are governments afraid to have the court film? Because they don't want to be caught doing this. Exactly. They also want to make you have to pay for the record that they created, right? And they don't want you to have a full record of before, after, and in between, right? That's what it's all about. It's about being gatekeepers and getting the revenue from you having to pay for your own transcripts and all this type of stuff. Right? And they don't want you to have it easily accessible. Like you go in there, boom, you record, you got it. You don't have to go ask or get it, pay for it, whatever. You have it. So my opinion is people need to be doing this all across the country. You guys got to look at the rules, follow the rules back, look at all the rules, see if they're even constitutional. And if they're using all these rules, these administrative rulemaking authority properly, because what I found here in New Hampshire is they're abusing Rule 54 administrative order powers, and they're legislating from the bench. So, yeah, it's all about making the coin so they can put money in the budget. And we have a budget crisis here in New Hampshire. We are bankrupt. Because the state employees wanted to rape and torture children for 60 years, over 60 years, 60 years that we know of. The YDC abuse case, Sununu Youth Services Center. Look up that. There's over 2,000 victims that have signed on for the civil cases. And the first civil case got a 38 million judgment. 38 million. That's just one out of 2,000 victims. Some of these victims were as young as, I believe, 7 years old. From 7 to 21 years old, staff members abusing them, torturing them. And if you don't know about that case, this is not unique to New Hampshire either. And all these states, it's child trafficking, it's human trafficking. They have these contracts. So New Hampshire has a contract with Tennessee, and we send a lot of juveniles to Tennessee, and we take them in. And the state gets paid big money for all these children that they have, and they're shuffling around. And I was in the juvenile system. They sent me to Pennsylvania. I did a year in Pennsylvania when I was a juvenile at George Junior Republic, if you've ever heard of that. But yeah, that's another big money-making thing, is this family courts, juvenile courts, and they don't, they don't care. They look at these kids as animals. They look at me as an animal. Ugh. Yeah, we could use some tar and feathers. I'll bring the feathers, you bring the tar. Somebody else bring the rope and the wood. Time to start building. There's no democracy to speak of. It's dismantled from the top. Absolutely. America has been captured in large part by Israel and Epstein, the whole Epstein network, which still exists, still thrives, and Epstein is still alive. Epstein is still alive. He was extracted from that jail by Mossad, 100%. And if you, it's funny because the last picture of him was Epstein wearing a Mossad shirt. And after he got out of jail, after they extracted him, so I'm telling you, Epstein is alive. He's alive. And if you don't think it's possible, go look at that jail and research how many people have escaped from that jail in the past 10 years. And then how many of those escapees are still at large. It's about 19. I think it was 22 or 23 escapes from that jail. And there's 19 still at large. So if you don't think Epstein could have escaped, you're crazy. America has been captured. America has been captured. The media is captured. Everything is captured. The Zionist state of Israel. Not the 12 tribes of Israel of the Bible. The Israel of the Bible is not the state of Israel. Two different things. Two different things. Yep. Trump is a bootlicker. I hate all presidents. Fuck them all except for JFK. They're all bootlickers and tyrants and puppets. They're just puppets. Biden and Trump are wings of the same vulture. Go watch my Wings of the Same Vulture video. I broke it all down. It gets you into that groupthink and the Democrats, the Republicans, fuck them both. You're both a bunch of retards. And the founders are fucking flipping in their graves with this faction of party. So, yeah, maybe George Washington wasn't a puppet either, but since JFK, they've all been puppets. And who killed JFK? Come on, we already know. You guys already know. Israel. Who did 9/11? Israel. They're all, I mean, the CIA is captured by Israel. And the Mossad and the CIA work hand in hand. It's all about deception. Wage war through deception. The IDF, that's their slogan. Wage war through deception. They also have the Hannibal Directive, which allows them to sacrifice any member of the colony for the good of the colony. So that's why they do all these false flags. And you see these hate crimes, these false flag hate crimes where it's actual Israelis going and spraying swastikas on churches or synagogues, and then they try to claim like it was Nazis doing it, but then they got caught. They've been caught a number of times all across the country doing this stuff. It's not Jews. I'm not blaming Jews. It has nothing to do with Jews. Israelis are not Jews. They're a secular state. The state of Israel is a secular state. So, what are you talking about? I never said Jews once. Straw man. Straw man. I only have one eye open. I have 3 eyes. And yeah, right, exactly. Manic cam. That's a good point. You know, only white people can be racist, right? Basically is what you're saying. All these other races can't be racist, even though they're all racist. You know, not everybody of every race is racist, but there are racist people in every group. You know, and then the Jews, the Israelis, they try to hide under this, we're Jews, oh, and they're not fucking Jews. They're not even Jews. Israelis are not necessarily Jews. Most of them are actually Eastern Europeans, like Bibi Netanyahu. He's Polish. So, listen, Palestinians, I don't know how many Palestinians you've spoken to, but I've spoken to plenty of them. I raised $13,000 for Palestinians through Facebook fundraisers right before COVID. Got bad service. I need to stay over here. So they're good people. Christians, there are Christian Palestinians. I don't know if you guys know that. I'm sure some of you do, but you retards, shills, don't know that the Christian Palestinians are actually like the foundation of Christianity. Get up. They're not all Muslims. And Christians and Muslims and Jews were peaceful over there without Israel having a state. And Israel is not supposed to have, a state with borders per the diaspora. There are rabbis that say they're not even supposed to have a state with borders. Who cares? I care. Atlas. Because they've captured America. And we're not allowed to talk about it because, oh, you're antiseptic. Oh, you're antiseptic. Yeah, I am. Call me antiseptic. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I've done my research diligently for both sides. So, fuck everybody. How about that? Fuck everybody. They did that double tap on... Yeah, I mean, they're blowing up hospitals. And they're killing children. Israel, the state of Israel. Killing children. Research on everything, man. Research on vaccines. Research on the Palestine-Israel question. I research everything objectively before I form my opinion. If adults teach kids to make bombs, are they still kids? Sure, why not? It doesn't change it doesn't change the fact that they're kids. You know what I mean? Doesn't even, that's just like, what's the point of that? Yeah, they're kids. They're kids. And what would you do if if you allowed someone to live in your town and then they started to steal your home and your friend's home? What would you do? Do you have a right to defend yourself and your property? Yeah, the Palestinians have every fucking right to defend themselves. And no state has a right to self-defense. How about that? No state has a right to self-defense because there is no self to defend. The state is a creature, what is it? It's a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not even real. It's an imaginary thing. The state does not exist, right? It's an abstraction. So no state can defend itself because there is no self and there is no state. But individuals all have a right to defend themselves. So no, Israel doesn't have a right to self-defense. Palestine doesn't have a right to self-defense, but Palestinians do. And Israeli citizens do. They all have a right to self-defense. Sure. I dropped out in 10th grade. I graduated 9th grade. But I have more knowledge than most people who went to college. So my research is very biased and riddled with lies by omission. Jews are called Jews because they come from Judea. No, they don't. That's what you got to go check out. They don't come from Judea. They're Eastern Europeans. So you guys need to go do your research before you start running your mouth on some propaganda. States are corporation. Corporation, yeah. It's a fiction. It's a fiction. It is propaganda. OG two-tone. 100% propaganda. So Hamas hides under... Listen, Hamas hiding... How are they hiding under the cover of journalists? Dude, the Israelis are killing journalists. They are killing journalists, and then they're like, oh, they were Hamas. Everybody's fucking Hamas. I'm Hamas now, right? Now I'm Hamas. Get the fuck out of here, dumbass. In a perfect world, couldn't the state defend its citizens? No, because there's no state. How is the state of New Hampshire going to pick up a gun? Tell me that. How's the state of Israel going to pick up? There is no state of Israel or state of New Hampshire. They're legal fictions. Yep, Khazarian agenda. There we go, DG. Spitting knowledge. I can see you've done your research. Quit overthinking shit. I'm an idiot. Oh, thanks, Phil Bullock. Appreciate that. Overthinking shit. That's all I do is think about shit. Stop thinking about shit. Be a retard. Yeah, that makes sense. All governments are evil. They are not people. They do not have the same rights as people think that they have special rights. Correct. See, we got this guy, Atlas. This nigga is probably Hamas. See you later, bro. I ain't got no time for this shit. Peace. MAGA, exactly. MAGA is toting the Israel fucking line 100%. They are a bunch of retards. Hate to tell you. And I got tons of MAGA friends. I have all kinds of MAGA friends. And I hate to burst you guys' bubble, but Trump is a Zionist shill. He's owned by Israel. He's owned by Israel. He was best friends with fucking Epstein for 15 years. He met his wife through Epstein. Like, Jesus Christ. Boom. See you later. So yeah, if you guys don't want to engage on the level and you just want to spit ad hominems and other logical fallacies, you will be hidden from the channel. Adios, amigos. They don't even care about land. It's a religious war. It's not even a religious war. They're using religion as a, shield to be like, oh, we were all persecuted. We were survivors of the Holocaust. We are victims. Even though they weren't there or involved in it. And probably their own ancestors weren't. They just wear this shield of Israel, we're the Jewish, state, even though they're not a Jewish state. They're a secular state, like I said. And they took the Ark of the Covenant to Ashdod and put it next to the Dagon, and the Dagon fell down because they were committing. I don't know. I'm not a Christian. I'm a Taoist. So, what are we doing? Go back and watch from the beginning. At this point, I'm just like rambling, and I'm going through the comments. Taurine-induced euphoria. Yeah, that monster's no joke. They are hiding in cover underground tunnels. Yeah. Ask yourself, why do the people have to hide in tunnels in their own country that's being stolen from them? Because it's being stolen from them. So you're telling me they don't have a right to defend, but Israel has a right to defend? So it's a double standard here. Come on. So I don't discriminate with my friends. I actually have debates and argue with them. I love having people who have different opinions than me because it challenges me to refine any of my arguments and thoughts and maybe adopt some of their ideas. So it's always good to have friends. I have MAGA friends. I got liberal friends. I have communist friends. I have Nazi friends. I got gangbanger friends. Like, I got politician friends. I got cops who are friends. I got guards, jail and prison, DOC people who are friends. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Palestine was never a country. It was a southern city of Syria, then Transjordan, then it belonged to a desolate wasteland. No, it was not a desolate wasteland. It's a desolate wasteland now. So this is the exact type of, Israeli propaganda that we're talking about here. Palestine was a country. If Palestine wasn't a country, then how was it directly named in the Balfour Declaration? When they gave a piece of Palestine to Jacob Rothschild to create Israel. It literally says, we are giving you Palestine. So if Palestine didn't exist, how was Palestine given to the Israelis? Unbelievable. The state can't defend itself, but citizens can band together and act. Correct. 100%. So, like, it's Part 1, Article 2A in New Hampshire. That's our right to bear arms. And we have the right to bear arms in defense of ourselves, our family, our friends, and the state. And the state. It's up to the people to defend the state because the state can't defend itself. The people are the state. Yeah, Gob, you don't know what you're talking about. Sure. But there was a Palestine. So Palestine, the land next to the Great Sea, that was 5 cities. Palestine existed. Palestine's a real thing. You can't just say it didn't exist. It was never there. It was never there, but it was given to us. But it doesn't exist. Come on, man. Sheep, sheep, sheep. I'm a wolf. Yeah. Howling. Howling. Yeah. Look at the old maps, too. It's on the maps. It's literally on the maps. Doesn't exist. It didn't exist. No, what didn't exist was Israel. What didn't exist was the Zionist state of Israel. Yeah. Maybe Palestine and Israel should build a structure and call it the White House. Yeah. Well, I mean, and here's the other thing with like the whole Hamas thing. You guys do know that Israel funds Hamas through Qatar. And they created Hamas in order to have an enemy to fight, to have an excuse to do what they're doing, which is indiscriminate bombing and leveling of certain areas. And then they push all the people out. They cordon that section off, and they bulldoze. They acquire all that more land. They steal more land because they're attacking Hamas that they created to be able to do this. Problem, reaction, solution. I mean, unbelievable, some of the ignorance in some of the people here. Behold, I mean, the synagogue of Satan. Exactly. The synagogue of Satan. You know, and I'm not a Bible person, but yeah, look at all the mentions in the Bible, and I mean, they're the synagogue of Satan. And they invert everything. They flip it to, oh, acts of aggression are acts of self-defense. They flip everything. It's a satanic inversion of reality. And then they also gaslight. It's a way that they can gaslight. Right now, I'm censoring your channel, 5 other people. Go right ahead. Censor away. Censor away. State gives its chattel rights. I'm friends with the CEO of YouTube. You should be ashamed. Oh, no! He's friends with the CEO of YouTube. See you later, bro. Report me. Report me. See if I give a fuck. Yep. Stephen Jones, boom. England was broke and needed the money to the Catholics, and here's an idea. Then tried to wipe them off the map. Yep. Do I believe it's possible for a state to exist that doesn't end up turning tyrannical? No. No. I don't think so. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Yep. All the presidents kiss the wall and wear the fucking foreskin cap. It's a foreskin cap, is what it is. And you know about the bits, what is it? The bits for ma. I'm not gonna get it right, but the whole circumcision ritual. Go look at that. Google that, and see what the rabbi does. Sucking the blood from the wound. Sick fucks. Absolutely sick and disgusting. Yep. BlackRock, Blackstone, Rothschild, New World Order. 100%. He's not friends with the, I know, he ain't friends with, he don't have no friend. I'm friends with the YouTube CEO. I'm gonna, like, why is the live stream still going if you got all that pull, bro? Like, censor me. Censor me. I know how to speak. And I know what I'm saying. I don't get videos taken down. Yep. DeVos. I mean, no people over religion or government. No, it's people over religion or government. Yes, exactly. People that he was executed by a tribunal, but I'm not sure. Dun, dun, dun. Nasty. Black Pope that's not black. Yeah, the Black Pope. Have you the like your connection is pretty bad. Sorry if my connection is bad, guys. It's just the connection here is horrible. So I can just end the stream. It's been almost an hour. I still don't know where the hell this bus is. Maybe it takes a little break for lunch or something, but I'm assuming it should be back soon. And I got to go do a few things. I got to go to Concord. I'm going to the law library, the Supreme Court Law Library. And yeah, that's basically it. So I appreciate the conversation and the interaction in the chat. Thank you, guys. I'll be signing off right now, and I'll let you know. I'll do that live stream tonight with the group, with the Telegram group, so we could get some people in there. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. And FAFO.